Hello, my friends. It is time for Superkids. Now, today is our last lesson with Icky. And with that lesson, we're going to read a story with Icky in it. But before we get into the story and the song, we're going to do some reading by ourselves. So I have my whiteboard out. You don't need yours. We're just going to read the words. We're going to sound out the letters and put it all together to make the word. And then I'm going to switch up the letters and we're going to read the new word, okay? So you ready? This is the word I have right now. It's D-I-D. Can you sound that out for me? All right, let's try sounding out together. Ready? D-I-D. Let's put it all together. Did. Did. Good job. All right, now I'm going to erase the last D, and I'm going to write the letter G. Now, can you sound out the new word we have? Sound out the new word we have. D-I-G. D-I-G. What word is that? The word dig. Good job. All right, now what we're going to do, I'm going to erase the I and put an O in its place. All right, sound out that word for me. D-O-G. Let's sound out together. D-O-G. D-O-G. What's that word, my friends? It's the word dog. Good job. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the D at the beginning and put the letter L. All right. Sound out the word I just gave you. L-O-G. L-O-G. What word is that? Let's put it all together. Log. Log. Good job. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change the O to an A. Sound out that word for me. L-E-G. L-E-G. Leg. Leg. All right. Last one. We're going to change the L to an S. All right. Sound out the new word I have. S-A-G. S-A-G. Put that all together. It's the word sag. Good job. I hope you are working with me. All right. Now it is time to listen to the Icky song. Now remember, if you want, you can pull the paper strip through like you're changing the channels with Icky, or if you just want to listen, that's okay too. All right, here is the Icky song.
In this piece that you like TV too, I bet. I am Mickey, watch with me. Come and see what we can see. Change the show's an easy trick. Hold the paper when you hear this click. Click. All the shows are brought to you by my favorite letter, the letter I. Itty bitty little small, it is hard to see at all. What is it, this tiny speck? An itty bitty small insect. Click.
All right, so like I said, we are going to be listening to a story. Now, this story is called Icky's What If? And the word what if is when someone is wondering about something. So, for example, what if it rains tomorrow? Icky wonders a lot of different things that might happen when he goes over to sleep over at Sal's house. Now, a sleepover is when a friend spends the night at another friend's house. Okay? Now, before we start the story, I'm going to tell you a secret. Icky is a little bit worried about going to the sleepover. The word worried means is feeling a little bit afraid or nervous. Icky is worried that he will do something wrong or silly that would make him feel embarrassed. Embarrassed means you feel upset about something you did or said. When you're embarrassed, your stomach might feel a little bit funny, your cheeks might feel a little bit red or warm. All right. So the characters in this story, remember, characters are people or animals in a story. So the characters in our story are Icky, Sal, and Oswald, okay? All right, we're going to listen to this story to find out why Icky is so worried about the sleepover party and whether Icky thinks it will happen or does it actually happen. All right, so we're going to figure out why Icky is so worried and if what he is thinking about actually happens, okay? All right, so let's get started. Now, these books does not have any pictures. So I'm just going to read and you make sure your listening ears are on. Okay. So this is called Icky's What Ifs, and the author is Valerie Tripp. Now remember, an author is someone who writes the words. Okay. One day, Icky and Oswald were playing catch with Sal when Sal came up to them. "Hi, guys," said Icky. Did you guys get your invitations to my sleepover party tomorrow?" "I did," said Icky. "Me too," said Oswald. "Good," said Sal. "I'll see you tomorrow then. Bye." "Bye," said Icky and Oswald. After Sal left, Oswald said, "I think Sal's party is going to be great. Don't you?" "Sure," said Icky. But the truth was, Icky was a little bit worried. "I have never been to a sleepover party," he said to Oswald. "Have you?" We're gonna pause the story for a second. I have a question. Why do you think Icky is so worried about the sleepover? Why does he feel worried? That's right. Icky has never been to a sleepover and he doesn't know how to act or what's going to happen, and he might be afraid to try something new. Okay. All right, so let's continue on with the story. "Not exactly," said Oswald, "but my big brothers have sleepover parties all the time, so I know what they're like. My brothers and their friends usually go skating at the ice rink. Then they come home and have dinner with our family. Then they stay up late eating chips and popcorn and watch scary movies like The Invasion of the Incredible Insects." "Oh," said Icky. Now he was even more worried. That night in bed, Icky could not stop thinking of what ifs. He couldn't skate as well as Sal or Oswald. What if he fell down so much that he ruined the fun for them? And he had never had dinner at Sal's house. What if they had fish or pickles or something Icky had never eaten before? Sal's family also spoke Spanish. What if Sal's mother used a Spanish word that Icky didn't understand? He might seem rude. Icky had never stayed up until midnight before. What if he fell asleep at 8 o'clock just like he did at home at every night? Sal and Oswald might think he was babyish. They also might think he's a scaredy cat too because he really doesn't like scary movies. Icky began to wish that Sal had never invited him to go to the sleepover party. But he had wanted to go, and if he didn't, Sal and Oswald would think he was the worst, babiest, scaredy cat in the world. Let's stop for a moment. Let's pause. Have you ever felt like Icky before when he's all worried and nervous? And what made you feel like that? Well, I'm going to tell you a personal story of how I felt like Icky. So, I, as a kid, never really liked sleepovers. I always never liked staying over at someone else's house. I always got so scared, and my parents ended up having to come get me. And that's okay. So I know how Icky feels. Now, you shout out a time when you felt like Icky. Oh, yeah. But that's okay to be scared sometimes, right? But do you think his friends would make fun of him for being scared? I don't think so either. So let's continue on with the story, okay? The next day, Icky's throat felt a little scratchy. His stomach felt a little jumpy, but Icky knew it wasn't from him feeling ill. He was sick, and he hadn't even left home yet. Icky packed his pajamas, sleeping bag, slippers, pillow, and a toothbrush. He tucked his favorite stuffed pig into his overnight bag, too. Icky would be so embarrassed if Sal and Oswald saw his pig, but it would make him feel better to know the pig had come along with him, even if was hidden in his bag. Hmm. All right, let's pause again. So as I read, I ask myself questions about what will happen next. I know Icky is worried about the sleepover, so I wonder, will Icky's what ifs happen? Will he have fun at this party? Sometimes when I worry something will be terrible, it turns out better than I thought it would. Sleepovers are usually fun, so I think Icky is going to have fun with Sal and Oswald. I'm going to keep reading to make sure my guess is correct. So like I said, he's worried that they're going to have food he doesn't like. He's worried that he's not going to skate very well. He's worried that Sal's mom is going to say a Spanish word and he's going to seem rude when he doesn't know. He's worried that Sal and Oswald will think he's a scaredy cat or a baby because he goes to bed early and doesn't watch scary movies. All right, so let's keep reading. I'm not sure if all these what I think he's overthinking it. I think he's thinking too many scary things in his head. All right, so let's continue reading. As he walked to Sal's house, Icky felt more and more unhappy with every step. When Sal opened the door, Icky blurted out, "I'm sorry, I'm not a really good skater, Sal." Sal looked puzzled, which means confused. He's like, "Oh, who is going skating?" he said. "I thought we were," said Icky. "No," said Sal. "What if we just played checkers?" "Checkers," said Icky, feeling really relieved, which means really happy. "I love checkers." "Me too," said Sal. "We can play until dinner time. My mom said that she would make us whatever we want. What if we ask for spaghetti?" "Spaghetti," said Icky. "I love spaghetti." "Me too," said Sal. "Then after dinner, my dad is going to drive us downtown. What if we got ice cream?" "Ice cream," said Icky. "I love ice cream." All right, we're going to pause the story again. How do you think Icky feels about the sleepover now? Thumbs up if you think he's happy, thumbs in the middle if you think he's very, very nervous, or thumbs down if he thinks he's not happy at all. That's right, he's very happy. Now, why do you think that? Why do you think that? What does what does Icky keep saying? He goes, "I love checkers. I love spaghetti. I love ice cream." So he's so excited for everything that they're going to do. Now, did all of his what ifs happen? Did they have fish and pickles? No. Did they go ice skating? Nope. No. So a lot of his what ifs didn't even happen. All right, let's continue the story. I love ice cream. Me too, said Sal. After that, it will be time for bed. My mom says we have to have the lights out by 8 o'clock. Come on, you can put your things in my room. Oswald is in there already. You should see the cool stuffed bear he bought. It's bigger than any of my stuffed animals. Hey, I know. What if we put all of our stuffed animals on our pillows until it's time for bed? Stuffed animals, said Icky. I loved stuffed animals. Me too, said Sal. I am sure glad that you came to my sleepover party, Icky. Me too, said Icky. And I sure do like your what ifs better than my what ifs. So let's recap the story, shall we? What did you think was going to happen at the sleepover? Did you think what Icky thought or what actually happened? Oh, that's so interesting. So at first, I thought, uh-oh, I think he's gonna get those what ifs and he's not gonna like the sleepover. But then as I kept reading, I was like, maybe he is going to like the sleepover. Now, at the end of this story, Icky said he likes Sal's what ifs more than his what ifs. Now, Sal, remember he said, what if we played checkers? What if we had spaghetti? What if we went to get ice cream? What if we put our stuffed animals on our pillows? Those sounded like good what ifs. Now, Icky's were what if they had fish and pickles? What if they said a word I don't know? What if we went ice skating? I really don't know what to do. That's right. Icky's what ifs were bad things that he was worried about that would happen at the sleepover. Sal's what ifs were fun things Icky would love to do. So, my question is, my friends, how did Icky's feelings about the sleepover change from the beginning of the story to the end of the story? How did Icky feel at the beginning of the story? Show me how he felt. Oh, he was worried, right? He was worried. How did he feel after when he got to the sleepover? How did he feel? Show me. He was happy. Awesome. Now, I believe Icky learned a lesson. What lesson do you think he learned? The lesson that I think he learned was that sometimes we worry too much about something before it actually happens. And then we get to that thing and we realize it's a lot of fun. Because Icky was so nervous. He's like, this sleepover is going to be horrible. And when he actually got to the sleepover, he was like, this sleepover is the best. So our lesson is don't get so worried about something before we even do it. Because it could turn out to be a lot of fun, right? Okay, so before we move on to our next part of our lesson, we're going to do a rating of this story. If you liked the story, thumbs up. If you kind of like the story, thumbs in the middle. And if you didn't like the story, thumbs down. Okay. And remember, that's an opinion. You do not have to have the same opinion as your friends because I really, really like this story. But if you kind of like the story, that's okay. And if you didn't like the story, that's okay too. That's what an opinion is. All right. Awesome job with your listening ears. Now, what we're going to do, you need to grab out practice page 51, and I'm going to do the same as well. All right, so you should have practice page 51, a pencil, and some crayons. So the first thing is, my friends, what do? We put our name on top, and then we stop. All right, so write your name on top, and then stop. Oh, sorry about that, my friends. It just paused for some reason. All right, so my name is on top. Yours should be on top as well. Now what they want us to do, they want us to look at the picture, and then they want us to put the super kid's name on the line, and then read this sentence. Remember, this is, a, and then they have that picture so you know what it is. So it's blank is a cat. So you're going to fill in the Superkids names. But before you even do that, you're going to trace the 3 Superkids names we have up here. Then you're going to look at the picture and go, which Superkid is that? Find their name and write it on the line, and then read the sentence. And then you'll notice the one for Icky, it says Icky is a blank. You're going to decorate Icky however you want. And then you're going to draw a picture to match. And then you're going to say Icky is a whatever you want it to be. You can have him be a clown. You can have him be a police officer. You can have him be a doctor. You can have him be whatever. You can have him be a monster if you wanted to, okay? So here are the directions one more time. You trace the Superkids names on top. You look through and figure out which Superkid it is and write their name on the line. Then you read the sentence that goes with the Superkid, and then you decorate Icky however you want. Okay, I cannot wait to see what you make into Icky. When you have finished all of that, you feel free to color the pictures. And then when you're all done, make sure your parents or grandparents or whoever's watching you sends me a picture of this worksheet so I know you finished your work. All right? So I'm going to have you pause the video, and when you have finished this worksheet, you can listen to the Icky song one more time, okay? So work on this worksheet, and then when you finish, you can unpause the video and watch the Icky song. Good luck, and I cannot wait to see your awesome work. All right, here's the Icky song. Remember, you can pull your paper through or just listen to the words.
In this TV set, you like TV too, I bet. I am Mickey, watch with me. Come and see what we can see. Today's show's an easy trick. Hold the paper when you hear this click. All the shows are brought to you by my favorite letter, the letter I. Itty bitty little ball, it is hard to see at all. What is it, this tiny speck? An itty bitty small insect. If you ever catch a chill, sneeze, feel so ill, into bed and take a nap, you'll feel better in a snap. If you just scratch at it, ear or tailbone you can twitch. Itches you cannot ignore. It's and it's some more.
All right, awesome job with our Icky unit. I cannot wait to see what you make into Icky, and good luck, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody.